Georgetown University, the first African American to head a white university. Over to the left, you'll find a new home of the Swedish Embassy. You'll also see a stream entering to the river. That's Rock Creek. It's also the beginning of the Sino Canal. The Sino Canal follows about the Potomac River for 184.5 miles from Washington, D.C. to Cumberland, Maryland. The canal operated from 1828 to 1924 as a transportation route, primarily on the coal from western Maryland to the port of Georgetown to Washington. You'll also see a broken wooden gate at the end of the street. That's where the storage complex to the left of it came from. That's the original Watergate. Watergate is a multi-use facility that drives up retail, residential, and commercial buildings. Watergate was rebuilt by Richard Nixon in 1972. Strip of land over to the right is Roosevelt Island, with 2 Indian arrows to be paid each Easter. In 1861, the island became a barracks for Northern troops, consisting of a 19-foot tall statue, a plaza, fountains, and conservation. Over to the left, you'll find the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. Opened in 1971, the Kennedy Center is both our natural cultural facility and a living memorial to John F. Kennedy. Set on 17 acres, the $73 million center contains 6 theaters. Throughout the center, you'll see gifts from many nations, including all the marble, which was a gift from Italy, the chandeliers were a gift from Sweden, and the silk curtains from China. If you look behind you, up on the hill, you'll see the National Cathedral. Its actual name is the Cathedral Church of St. Peter and St. Paul. The church is Episcopal, but it has no local congregation and seeks to serve the entire nation as a house of prayer for all people. It's the 6th largest cathedral in the world and 2nd largest in the United States. It took a long time to build. The corner foundation stone was laid in 1907 using the same mallet that George Washington used to set the Capitol cornerstone. Construction was interrupted. This bridge is the Teddy Roosevelt Bridge, and it connects Washington with Virginia through Roosevelt Island. It carries Route 66 across the river. Over to the left, you'll see 2 sets of statues. Each set represents war, one for valor, the other for sacrifice. Both sets of statues were gifts from Italy and are 14-karat gold plated. In between the statues, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial. Planned as early as 1867, the Lincoln Memorial wasn't completed until 1922. It was built to model the Parthenon in Greece. Its 36 columns represent 36 states in the Union at the time of Lincoln's assassination. Also inscribed on the top of the memorial are the names of the 48 states in the nation at the time of its completion. Inside the 100-foot memorial, you'll find a 19 by 19 statue of Lincoln, and engraved in its limestone walls are his second inaugural address, and as well as his Gettysburg Address. The steps at the base of the memorial were also called the Water Gate, as they were intended to be the gateway to the city for visiting dignitaries when they arrived here by water. But they were very seldom used for that. But what they were used for, when they would anchor a barge and they would put a band on it and have a concert, and those steps would serve as the seats. The bluish-gray bell tower that you see over to the right is the Netherlands Caroline. This was a gift from the Netherlands in appreciation for liberating them from Nazi occupation in World War II. To the right of the Caroline, you might be able to see the Iwo Jima Memorial, just a bronze statue. This bridge is the Arlington Memorial Bridge, and it symbolically links the north with the south. It was a drawbridge at one time, and it connects Washington with Arlington National Cemetery. To the right on top of the hill, you'll see a mansion, and that's the Arlington House, also known as the First man to lie in Arlington was a Confederate soldier. In 1864, Arlington was declared a military cemetery and is now the final resting place for more than 240,000 American men and women. This is also the final resting place for John F. Kennedy, William Taft, and Pierre Lafont, who was the designer of the Federal City. You'll also find the tomb of the unknown soldier. Small statue over to the left is the Erickson statue. Erickson was in the ironclads during the Civil War. Structure to the left is the Washington Monument. It's the world's tallest masonry structure. It's 555 feet, 5 1/8 inches high. The marble walls are 15 feet thick at the base and 18 inches thick at the top. You'll also notice about a quarter of the way up the monument, it's two different colors. The monument was begun in 1848 and construction was interrupted during the Civil War. It was completed 36 years later and wasn't open to the public until 1888. 4 years after its final completion. The cost was $1.2 million. When the monument was open to the public, there was a steam-powered elevator that was noisy and took 20 minutes to get to the observation level. Only men were permitted to ride the elevator, and they were served wine and cheese during the trip. Women and children were obligated to climb the 897 steps and 50 landings to the top. Adorned by seagulls. Right past there is an archway, which is the entrance to the Columbia Island Marina, where you'll find the Pentagon. The world's largest office building, the Pentagon has 17.5 miles of corridors through its 5 rings and 6.5 million square feet of space. The Pentagon's home to more than 20,000 military personnel and civilian workers every day. This massive structure is made of reinforced concrete and faced with limestone and was built in a mere 18 months. On September 11th, 2001, the Pentagon was the target of a terrorist attack. American Airlines Flight 77 was hijacked, delivered, and crashed through the Pentagon, killing 189 people on board and on the ground. Third bridge was sighted in 1982 Air Florida plane crash and was named for Arlen Williams Jr., who was a passenger on that plane, and he died saving others in the freezing water. The next bridge is the Metro Bridge. It was named for Senator Charles Fenwick of Virginia. The last bridge, also called the Long Bridge, carries a railroad across the river, and it was an operating swing bridge at one time until it was hit by lightning, which caused a fire, permanently damaging the barrels of the bridge. The bridge is still in use today, and it's one of the most heavily traveled routes on the East Coast. In 1998, President Bill Clinton signed the law legislation which changed the name of the airport to Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. This airport is one of the smallest major city airports in the United States, yet it is also one of the busiest, with approximately one flight per minute. The National Airport serves approximately 44,000 passengers a day and 16 million passengers per year. Air cannons make the loud bangs or explosions that can be heard. These devices are intended to frighten the birds out of the pass of the approaching aircraft. We're turning around here. Had we continued south down the river, it would be about a 100-mile trip to the Chesapeake Bay. The Potomac River is 383 miles long and begins its journey in Fairway down to Lookout, Maryland. Its fresh water becomes brackish and supports the diversity of wildlife due to its unique characteristics of being both a freshwater river as well as having saltwater in its lower extremities, due to being a tidal river. Washington, D.C. was originally intended to be 100 square miles located at the junction of the Potomac and Anacostia rivers. This location placed part of the district would have been Maryland, the remainder of what was called Virginia. The Maryland side of the district was developed much more quickly than the Virginia side. Therefore, Virginia requested that the portion of the district west of the river return to the state. This land was named after Virginia, the city of Arlington. The area of land returned to Virginia was 31 square miles, leaving the district 69 square miles its current size. The site chosen for the District of Columbia was quite controversial. The northern states felt that the capital of the nation should be in Florida, and a larger population for the state. The southern states objected to traveling longer distances, but compromised to the south, remaining its main thoroughfare, Pennsylvania Avenue, after the closure of the state. Over now, if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask. We hope you enjoyed your tour.
believe. I got some money on